So following on from Tiger's historic win, winning the Masters, 15th major, also his game was different to a lot of the other players in terms of used a lot more shot shaping. People thought it was a little bit more old school, but this was actually phenomenal for being able to access the pins. We're going to have a look at what Tiger was saying in his press conferences and how this then transpired on the golf course to allow him to have phenomenal ball control, and then lastly show you how you can apply this to your game so you can then begin to use shot shaping to access any pin and minimize your mistakes. Following on from the magnificent Masters win by Tiger Woods, one thing we saw and heard him talk about in his press conferences was his ability to start to shape the ball. He was saying that now his swing's getting there, he was able to draw and fade the ball and access pin locations, but also he was able to take that big miss out of play. So getting on the wrong side of a pin, particularly at somewhere like Augusta, but I'm sure there's lots of holes on your golf course, because I can think of loads where just around here at High League, that if you get in the wrong area, it's a really difficult up and down. But if you miss it in the right spot, then really you're making that opportunity to get up and down quite simplistic for you, because you've got so much green to play with, you haven't got difficult slopes to work over. These are all going to be key bits for you getting the lowest score. And this is what Tiger did so amazingly well. Now, we have a look at the shot shaping and what he was doing. He felt like he was swinging and moving a little bit slower and smoother, but he also said that he felt like he had more speed because the swing was better. But the thing that I'm looking at the most is the ability to shape the ball into the holes. The major reason behind being able to do this is that he's just able to sort of use all that shot shaping knowledge, all that ability, rather than bombing it down there as far as you can in the longest tee shot. It's all about being able to get that ball close to the flag. We're not probably playing tour length golf courses at 7,500 yards, so we don't need the massive power. It's about the accuracy, and we saw that this week, that getting the ball close to the flag was the major reason. He was the #1 in strokes gained with the irons. So having a look at it here, here's how I want you to practice your shot shaping. Don't be daft and going out on the golf course and just expect straight on around a golf to be able to start moving the ball into pins. If you haven't practiced it, there's going to be zero chance of being able to employ it on the golf course. So if you haven't practiced it, stick with the pattern you know, okay? That's really important. But if you're going to practice it, get something set up like I have here. So I've got an alignment stick on my target line, and what I'm just going to do is work at trying to hit draws and fades either side of it. I'm not looking at whether it's finishing left of the stick yet or right of the stick for whichever shape it is I want to hit. I would want that to happen, but this is obviously layering in that practice to be able to access the pin, okay? Because to start off with, can you hit the different shapes? And then after that, can you judge the start line and the amount of curvature relative to what the flag wants to be? So the starting point is going to be make sure you've got the shot shape, and then after that, what I don't want to do is never want it, if it's a fade, to cross the target line to the right, and if it's a draw, cross the target line to the left, because therefore you might end up taking that ball into some trouble if that's what you're playing for. So first of all, let's have a look at what it is that you can do, particularly when think about Tiger with this, in terms of what happens in that follow through. When we see him hit a fade, which one with the first shot we play here, what we'll see is that in that follow through, he'll quite often rehearse and hold it a little here. Okay, so that follow through is a little bit more up, and the club hasn't sort of rotated through as much. You'll still have loads of power and all these things, but it's controlling that club face. So that club face is staying open to the path at the bottom. So feeling that, I actually get the feeling that the toe hasn't passed the heel through here, and I feel that that hasn't done it in the follow through. And for me, the back of the right hand here is looking at the target. So for you guys, in that follow through there, feel that back of that right hand is looking at that target. So obviously I'm going to start everything a bit more left here. So everything's left of that stick. Club face is right of where my body's pointing. And I'm just going to try and get that feeling of what I just rehearsed in that follow through into the shot. So that's that follow through here. That hand has stayed looking at the target. That's cut a little bit back towards the target. That was really nice. It had that cut spin that I wanted to on the shot. It didn't cross the target line, so that was good. So what I'd do is I'd rehearse that and get the feeling, and then what I'd then do is, after hitting enough of them, I'd laser it and find out what the difference is. Does my draw or fade go any different? Might be different for every single type of player. This will then really make it your distance control incredible. That was one of the keys for Tiger, was that distance control and the shot shaping. Okay, having a look at this now, what we'll do is now hit a little draw. So now the feeling for me here is going to be a little bit more full in the finish. So it feels like everything has come around and the toe of the club is releasing with me. I don't mean I'm flipping my hands, but the toe of the club is allowed to release on the way through, but it's moving with my body. So my body's rotating around and the club's coming through with me. So this one, start that club to the right, the stick, body a little bit further right. So you can see there the follow through is quite different. It's a lot more released around. That one did draw back. So they both started either side of the stick that I wanted and moved in towards that target. So the key is learn how much curvature you get on the ball and what it is that's going to allow you to do, get the feeling into the follow through. And it's about creating your own unique feel for this, okay? We're all a little bit different on this. Some of my players will just change everything that's set up and not do much. Others really like to feel it in the follow through. For me, I'm a big follow through guy. Jordan Spieth's a massive follow through guy. Tiger looks like he is, and that's how they start to alter their shape. Come out and practice it, and then you'll be able to alter it on the golf course and learn to access the pins when they're in tricky locations. But most important of all, be able to put the ball in a position that minimises your mistakes. That's going to be the number one most important thing. So guys, hopefully you really enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Make some comments below. What else would you like to see that the top players are doing on the golf course that you can learn to do to allow you to lower your scores? Thanks for watching, and speak to you again really soon.